So Mike Slack this morning did not show because his wife's car wouldn't start, and so he asked if we could meet at 10:30, and then he actually ended up saying, can we just talk on the phone? And so I'm about to call him. Got my questions here and notepad and a coffee ready to go. And so here goes nothing. Let me get to his number. Exactly 10:30 on the dot.
This is Mike.
Hello, Mike. This is Brooke.
Brooke, I am so sorry.
Oh, no worries.
about this
It happens.
morning. Well, I appreciate it. I had to run, and it was right before our time to meet, and I had to run right up the door. So, but I got your questions, and appreciate the fact that you're calling, and look forward to talking to you.
Yeah. No, I hope your wife got where she needed to be. That is perfectly fine. This is just fine like it is.
Great.
And so, this just a heads up for the interview. It's probably going to last about 15 minutes. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about working for nonprofits in the United Way in particular. I am doing a report on my dream field for one of my courses at OCU, and I chose nonprofits because it's what I'm really interested in right now. And I think we're going to discuss your position at the United Way and kind of the reasons why you went into nonprofits.
Sounds great.
And for my first question I have, why did you get into nonprofit work?
I took a circuitous route to get here. I started my vocational path really on the track to ordained ministry. I got a religion degree at OCU. I spent a year in seminary, and after that decided that I didn't want to pursue that option, but I had a passion for teaching, and I wanted to be involved in education in the lives of young people, so I went and joined Teach for America and taught for 2 years in Atlanta at high school, and it was a wonderful experience. It was very challenging, and felt very, very clearly at the end of that okay, being in a classroom, being a high school teacher isn't my long-term calling. It's not what I want to do. I probably wasn't awful at it, but it didn't really fill my soul, and I felt like there was a lot of need outside of the classroom that I was much more passionate about, and I wanted to work in that area. So as I was nearing the end of my Teach for America commitment, I learned about the nonprofit leadership program at OCU, and asked a couple questions, talked with some professors here, and decided to go into that program. And I got to know Bob Spinks really well, and many of the professors and the people working in the nonprofit sector, and I realized that this is the kind of work that I'm most passionate about. I want to help leverage resources and get people engaged on addressing community issues, particularly with children and youth. So it was a little bit of a circuitous route, but that's how I got here.
Do you get to work with children in your position right now?
Not particularly, but I'm actually leaving United Way on May 16th. Will be my last day, and I'm going to go be Director of Development for a nonprofit called Oklahoma United Methodist Circle of Care, and they're the foster and residential program that's associated with the Oklahoma United Methodist Church. So, your email came at a really funny time, and so I'm really excited to be getting into that work, and really thankful for the time I've spent at United Way. It's a fantastic organization, and for many people, it is the dream organization to work for in Central Oklahoma. And I'm a little bit of a short timer here.
Well, yeah, congratulations on your...
Hey, thanks.
What could a college student like myself do to prepare for myself for a job at a nonprofit?
Well, the most important thing you can do is volunteer. Either volunteer internships and I've had an intern, and what's very hard, and I'm speaking from experience, is that the work that you want to do, oftentimes is not the work that's needed to be done as an intern. You go to school and you learn about strategic planning and creating goals and objectives and doing lots of really high-level intellectual work, which is something that everyone needs to know how to do. But like what I did yesterday, a lot of the work that I have to do is really not very glamorous at all. I spent 2 hours straight sending email after email after email after email yesterday. I timed myself.
Oh my goodness.
I had to send 100 emails back to back. It wasn't very complicated. I just had to take this form and email it to 100 different people. And so that would be the kind of thing that if I had a CFC intern, I would probably ask them to do. Or I need someone to help me go through my filing cabinet with all 300 of my accounts and make new labels and put new folders in and things like that. And it's not very glamorous work and it's not high-level thinking. But it's so important to be an effective and efficient professional have an effective, efficient campaign, that all these things are done, and that's oftentimes part of the key things to get them ready. So I'd encourage you to seek out an internship or volunteer opportunities, or anyone who wants to get in with an organization. Now's a great time to do it because you're young and you're exploring and you're figuring out, and I'm guessing you're not like me. I'm married and have kids and lots of bills to pay, and so you have a little bit more flexibility in what you choose to do.
Going on that, what would be like your perfect dream position, and what would that entail? Just curious, because you sound like you're trying to do something more.
Yeah, so my goal is to be an executive director of a nonprofit in Central Oklahoma that works to make the lives of children and youth better, and that addresses both immediate needs and also addresses long-term systemic needs of a community. How do we set up our community so that we're doing the most intelligent things possible to help set kids up for success? So,
Interesting.
yeah.
It says on your LinkedIn profile, I did look, sorry,
That's great. It's a good thing to do.
that you manage workplace giving. What exactly does that mean?
So United Way is a nonprofit that raises the majority of its funds from workplace giving. Workplace giving is where we go to companies like Chesapeake, Devon, Continental Resources, the largest companies in the community, and we run fundraising campaigns. The way it works is we work through volunteers within those companies serve as their campaigns coordinator. And in different companies, they have different names, but the general name for it is what we call an employee campaign coordinator. And they're our main point of contact for that company's workplace campaign. And when we run a campaign, what we do is we have a system set up where folks can give through payroll deduction to United Way. And what that means is if you get a check for $1,000 a month, you can sign a pledge card to give $5 per month or per pay period, however it turns out, and that'll come to United Way. So your taxes will come out and your deductions will come out, and then also on your it'll say $5 to United Way. And the reason this is a tremendous benefit to people who want to give to the community, because it's convenient, it's reliable. They make one decision, and it's also spaced out over the course of the year. So if you're not able to just sit down and write a $500 check to give to United Way, but you'd like to, you can then do $20.84 every 2 or 3 weeks, and all of a sudden you're able to be a leadership donor. So we work with these people called the employee campaign coordinators, and we set up meetings. And these meetings we typically call a rally or a kickoff, and we will go in and we'll present the United Way message, what we do, and we'll invite one of our 60 partner agencies or more to come in and speak as well, and they'll talk about the work that their community or their partner, their agency does, encourage folks to make a gift to United Way. So in addition, we help those employee campaign coordinators organize special events. You've got
I had no idea how that worked. That is awesome.
Yeah. And that's the thing that if you are, like, before I started working for United Way, I was probably like you, that I knew United Way was big and there was a lot of money, but I didn't really know how it happened. And it happens in workplaces. And so it's not something that most young people are really exposed to until they get into their first professional job outside of college, hopefully at a business that supports United Way and runs a campaign.
Right, right. Does your job or job similar to yours require travel to the different agencies or out of state?
The only out-of-state travel is for conferences for me, and one or two of those a year. And then we do quite a bit of travel locally, just to the different workplaces where we're running campaigns, or to the different partner agencies to give tours and things like that. So United Way has really a lot of local travel, but not much across the state or outside of the state.
What do you enjoy most in working for the United Way, and what are you most excited about for your new position at your new job?
One of the most exciting things about United Way is you get connected to industry leaders across the community, and you get to be involved in really for what many people is the most important, charitable, the most important charity to their company over the course of the year, because these companies, they support many, many charities. Our companies are tremendously generous in Central Oklahoma, but United Way is the key. So there's a special, I think, air about these campaigns where people feel positive and they feel uplifted and they love to hear from the partner agencies. So oftentimes, like our Pacesetter campaigns, we have about 80 campaigns that run early. They run in the summer, and the majority of the campaigns run starting September and finish up by November. And so the Pacesetters run early, and these are some of the campaigns that just get so excited about their United Way campaign. They email in April to get ready for their summer campaign, and they want to know who their speakers are going to be, and they want to set up tours, and they want to try new things. So I think just the guy enjoys most is just people are so excited oftentimes to run these campaigns, and not only is it a benefit to the community and folks in need in Central Oklahoma, but it's also just an exciting time for people in their jobs to do something where they give back. In my new job, I'm really excited to work specifically with children and youth and children who are in the foster care system. It's a tremendous need in our state in particular, and child abuse and neglect is an issue that really deserves our attention and our community to step up together and address. So I'm excited to be part of that work.
I actually thought about volunteering at the Pauline is it Meyer shelter?
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's over by Chesapeake, but I was actually interested in volunteering there, but I have kind of overbooked myself with activities for the school year. But in coming from OCU, I'm sure you're familiar with the acronym Overcommitted University. So what experiences or values did you take from OCU?
Well, the acronym rings true to me, and I think one of the things that's important about OCU that you don't get at many other schools is because it's so small, you have more opportunity to take leadership early on than you would at probably at a larger university, where there's so many people, and really one of the things that I benefited most from was the ability to take a leadership role in an organization, and not because I was particularly good at it, but it gave me a safe place to fail. And I think failing is really important. The lesson I'm still practicing. I probably will for my whole life, but it's important to be able to work with an organization, and particularly in a volunteer capacity, because with a nonprofit, the work of a nonprofit is really the work of working with volunteers, and you need to be able to not only listen to and follow the advice and suggestion of your volunteer leaders, but also influence people who you have no real way to influence besides your personal relationship with them, and kind of how compelling your message is and how you convey all that. So I think that's probably the best thing about OCU. Well, one of the many good things. And I'm a member of the alumni board. I'm a treasurer of the alumni board, and I'm also on the advisory board for the College of Arts and Sciences. So I'm still an overcommitted university alumni.
It never stops.
Yeah.
And I just want to let you know that I did drop by this morning to drop off my resume.
Okay.
I had no idea United Way was so close to OCU, because after I looked at the address and I had to look it up a couple times because I was like, there's no way, I've never seen it. But so if you guys do have any opportunities for internships or job shadowing this summer, I would absolutely love to learn more about just working for nonprofits and United Way in particular.
Okay, I will forward it to Linda Tharp. She's the Vice President for Human Resources, and she takes care of all that. Do you have any particular interests, or do you want to do something in marketing, or do you want to do something in campaign, or?
The campaign aspect sounded really interesting. I kind of want to do something that relates to finance, maybe budget. I don't really know, whatever, something to do with money, I guess. And yeah, the campaign.
Well, I will double check and make sure that it gets to Linda Tharp, and if you want, you can email her directly and let her know that you're interested in an internship. But all that goes through her, and I'm sure she will direct it to where it needs to go to.
All right. Do you have her email address, or do you mind sending it to me?
It's just like mine, but it's L Tharp, THARP,
PHARV?
THARP at UnitedWayOKC.org. I'm guessing you dropped the resume off with Linda Inks.
I'm not exactly sure. I gave it to whoever was working front desk.
Okay, I think that was Linda. All right.
I think that's about all the questions I have planned today. This interview is very informative and gets me really excited about my future in nonprofits, hopefully.
Good.
So I just want to thank you so much for meeting with me this morning. I realized it was really hectic, and thanks for cutting out a time slot for me.
Well, I appreciate your flexibility, so thanks.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much.
All right, take care. Maybe I'll see you around campus.
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Phone interviews are a little bit awkward. Don't really like talking on the phone, but hopefully that went well. Brooke Crutchfield from the Gardner Conference Room. Over and out.